Welcome to Central Georgia Focus, the Ask Mayor Miller edition. We are recording this in the waning days of 2025, but we are looking ahead to 2026 with Macon-Bibb County Mayor Lester Miller, who joins us every month here at 13 WMAZ for Ask Mayor Miller to answer your questions and our questions. Mr. Mayor, the County Commission meets for the first time January 6th as we begin the new year, and the agenda's not out yet as we're taping. So what are the priorities for the first meeting of this next year?
Well, I think every year brings something new, but typically our first meeting in January, we look at just some house things that we do, particularly selecting a mayor pro tem is one of the items we do, what type of committees that we'll have. And then we have a lot of appointments that may need to be made since a lot of folks' terms expire December the 31st of the previous year. So,
and you're talking about boards and authorities, right, and things like that.
Board appointments and things of that nature that expire toward the end of the year. So we'll get all that in order. We've got some carryover things from the previous calendar that we'll bring forth. But we started working on that today. As you know, with the holidays around, a lot of folks are in and out of the office. So we'll meet back again this week to finalize that, to get the agenda out this Friday for the following week.
All right, well, we'll be looking forward to that. Now, there are multiple major projects that are hoped for in 2026, so we'll like to explore those and drill down a little bit if we can get some more details. You've anticipated a mid-year groundbreaking for the Renaissance on the River project that's adjacent to the Mercer Medical School project. So what is going on with that project exactly in the coming months? Do we have designs yet, or tell us what's happening?
Well, there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, as they always do, and that's not entirely our project, so I can't comment on everything. But I do know there's some designs, there's some potential property acquisitions, that happen in the area that we did before that we need to clean up. The Trailhead Park there, the gas station that we purchased there, we still have to get those pumps moved and do the work underneath there. There'll be some storm water and some other type of water from Macon Water Authority that has to be done, laying that foundation over there. There's some soil testing and things of that that's being completed. So there's a lot of underground stuff that's being done, and a lot of cosmetic stuff that'll be done in preparation for the real groundbreaking sometime May or June. And of course, that project is slated to take about two years to complete.
So y'all already have a developer in line for that?
I believe the developer has already been chosen on that. They're going through some architectural renderings, and in the next 60, 90 days, we'll probably have those out. We saw a little bit of it when we had the initial dirt turning, and you saw a great, fabulous picture there, but there's some more parts to that puzzle that are coming, and some potential leases for some property in that area as well.
All right, so is it generally an extension of Mercer controlling that, or there are other players?
I think there'll be a public-private partnership there. I think you'll have the Mercer Medical School there. There's probably some medical offices there, some a hotel potentially there, some mixed-use residential there, as well as some retail and perhaps restaurant or coffee shop, things like that.
All right. Now, what's happening in the progression of planning for the new Civic Center hotel complex that would be across Riverside Drive and bordered by Walnut and First Street?
So we've been in discussions with the developer on that site that was chosen. Likewise, that's going to be a partnership where we have a joint proposal with them for the hotel convention center as well as the hotel. They'll be putting in some major money on that project. We'll be going through the same architectural drawings, process, bonds, etc. What we'll start moving into for 2026 is those financial stacks that we've been talking about. Everybody wants to know, how much is this going to cost? How much is that going to cost? What is it going to look like? Well, we've laid the foundation for that, and now we'll start moving on to how does that look financially? Where's the money coming from to do this project? Where's it coming from for that project, so we can lay it out for everybody to see? And that'll happen right there before everybody's eyes in the commission meetings that we have when we present that to the public. So that's the next stages over there. We anticipate those two projects kind of working about the same time frame. So the next couple of years, we hope to have something already in place there to get ready to open, and about the same time we will to have the new arena across the river.
Okay, so we're in the Mayor Mobile and we're driving up First Street, right? And we don't even hardly get past Mulberry before, there's the old Macon Health Club. So that's another area that we're going to see some work going on maybe this year. Tell us where the status of that project is with the property that's also owned across the street with the UDA.
Well, as you recall, and I think some people must have had it on a tickler, because it seems like the day we were able to get into that property, my phone started ringing from this reporter and that reporter and want to know what is going on with this property, the old health club. As you recall, we had about 22 months. We couldn't touch the property because, right, the previous owner still had information in there. Still had their technology and things of that nature in there, so we really couldn't put any contracts on there. And certainly we had the untimely death last year of Josh Rogers, and he was a part of that initially, and now Newtown still a part of that. We have new players there. So the Urban Development Authority, Newtown, Macon, and others are working on prospects for that site as well as the site across the street. We continue like to see the Macon Health Club come back to life, at least to some extent, and possibly some business and or either residential or a hotel in that area. So we expect that to begin the process this year, go ahead and start getting some drawings for that, some prices, and to reveal what partner may come to the table on that.
And if we keep driving down First Street, we get closer to City Hall, and then we have the Rosa Parks Square renovation. I know the rededication will be on Rosa Parks' birth date, which is February 4th, but I've seen the progress is still happening, but it's not quite finished, right? There's monuments that have to be restored there.
Not quite finished. They're going to do some topping off over there that they're working on now. We have the Rodney Davis Memorial that'll be coming back, the Blue Star. There's a couple other little parks that was inside Rosa Parks as well. So all those will be finished in time for the February 4th celebration and the real ribbon cutting there. I don't know if you've been there or not, but I've seen nothing but compliments from all over the place. We had more people probably see that park before it opened than any other park that we've ever had in Macon. It's something that we can all be proud of. I get a chance to see it out my window each and every day, and it's coming along very nicely. Stafford Builders did a great job bringing that park to life. There were some things that took a little bit longer than we would like for it to happen because of some underground utilities we couldn't control. But it's going to be a fabulous park. It's going to really add to the area next to the auditorium that's recently been done, as well as the Otis Redding Museum, the Hotel 45, and now the potential revitalization of the Macon Health Club and surrounding buildings.
Now, if we keep going west, we're still in the little Mayormobile. What do you anticipate happening around Atrium Health Navicent? Do you think 2026 might be the year to unveil some new plans for the property that they have that was swapped with the UDA's property?
Well, I think they'll announce something hopefully soon. There's a lot of innovation that can happen in that area. Several blocks there. Of course, right behind City Hall, we have the Gateway project there with multiple parking deck there with multiple spaces on there, as well as residential lofts as well and retail. So you'll get there first before you go to where what we call the Midtown area there as you cross over Plum, going toward the Atrium Health, I say amphitheater. I already talked about the amphitheater. Atrium Health Navicent right there. But they've got some plans for that. I'll let them do their own announcement, but certainly we're a willing partner in that, and I think we'll have some great partnerships for years to come.
And we're still traveling west, though. So what does the jail renovation timeline look like?
So as you know, just a couple weeks ago, we had some discussion in our chamber to discuss the selection of the company that's going to be the contract. So the CM on the case is Selby and Associates. They're well familiar with that site, and they'll begin the process of giving us some actual figures. We'll get some drawings coming up soon on basically the expansion to give us what we need to do to kind of bridge that gap between where we're at now and the new jail that we expect to come in the future. And that will probably more likely be down on 7th Street of the property we purchased right there. The Congago property is what I like to refer to it as. So we're still about a 12 to 14 month process on there once we begin the process there. The funding will be coming out as well. We did some bonds for that. We could very well use other funds for that from SPLOST funds, but it's going to be a great addition. Number of beds, number of mental health facilities there. The most secure people will be placed in a certain place, very humane, up to date, and something we all can be proud of for about $24–25 million.
Well, that took care of most of the urban core on the west side of the river, but stay tuned because we'll talk about what's going to happen on the other side of the Ocmulgee when we come back. Welcome back to Central Georgia Focus, the Ask Mayor Miller edition. Now, before we talk about East Bank and the other side of the river, you brought up that there's also something happening on Walnut Street going into Carolyn Creighton Park this spring.
That's correct. We between MLK and actually the entrance of Carolyn Creighton Park, we've acquired several properties there. I've been working to clean those properties, removing some buildings and other things. Right now we have an RFP that's out there that'll come back in January, and we expect to vote on that project in January. So we'll move that along with some parking, some road digest there with some different options you have to kind of keep things safe, pedestrian friendly through there. Also, we've been working with Norfolk Southern to clean up the bridge area there, the underpass there to the bridge, make sure it's safe for everyone. Right now, we've had some challenges in that area, some requests that we've got from Daybreak there to help them clean the area up as well with some trouble spots that they have. So we'll be working in conjunction with them and our whole team to kind of clean that up. But you'll see a nice project come on there. A gateway we all can be, very proud of, leaving MLK, going into Carolyn Creighton Park, and finally getting rid of all that rumble and that problems that we had in the road digest there. That's been a lot of water there, a lot of holes and potholes and things of that nature. We finally able to find out what that was, and we're going to get that repaired, and that project hopefully will come together before Cherry Blossom this year.
Great. Now, when we talk about growth and development on the east side of the river, the Congressional National Park delegation is paramount from what you said before. So what are you hearing after a somewhat lackluster U.S. Senate subcommittee report in December about, what's going to happen?
Just more of the same. I wouldn't say this lackluster at all.
I mean, the report coming out of there was like, oh, the Park Service doesn't want it or whatever. That's what I was meaning, the reporting of it.
I think the reporting has always been that same way. Nothing really has changed there. We've actually gotten further than we've ever been before and actually got through a committee hearing on that. We're very well positioned and pleased where we're at now. We want the process to continue to move forward. As long as that happens, we're okay. We spoke to all of our delegations there in D.C. They certainly are still marching forward with that. We're hoping that's going to work. And, our development there is not contingent upon the national park. It certainly works well, but a lot better with it. But I don't see really anything has changed at all, but us moving in the right direction. I watched some of the committee meeting. I read the reports afterwards. Didn't change my opinion at all about whether the park's going to happen, when that park may happen. But you got a lot going on in the Capitol, right? Washington D.C. elections this year. A lot of things are happening there. A lot of moving parts, but we're very steadfast. We got a great team going before in all directions. That's local, that's state, and that's national, and the Muskogee Creek Tribe themselves. So we've got everybody pulling in the right direction, and we're going to get that across the finish line without a problem. Are
there concrete plans to demolish the old Secretary of State building, or are you going to wait until a developer's on site for East Bank?
No, we've got the environmental been completed on that now. We've got pricing on the removal of any issues that we have there, and then we're going to be tearing that down in the very near future. We expect the demolition to happen by Macon-Bibb County through our Public Works Department, and the mitigation will probably take about a month, and after that we expect that building to come down.
And it looks like the arena project is a go. Do we have a cost estimate on that and the next steps?
We haven't gotten all the cost estimates there, and we really don't talk about those things right now because it's a moving target as well. Depending on what you add, what you subtract, what the designs looks like.
Whether you value engineer,
right? All those things. One thing is going to happen. One thing we know is going to be probably one of the largest ones compared to the ones that's been built in our area right now. Be a little bit larger than the Market in Savannah, as well as the one in Augusta, as well as the one in Athens. So certainly we're going to surpass all those in both the size and the look of that. The architect's going to be fabulous on there, and it's going to be a multiplex as well. So I think it's something that we're going to be proud of. We'll have some better figures probably coming up in about 6 weeks, and then have the final figures probably around April, so we can have that groundbreaking coming up in May or June.
We've talked about it a few times on Ask Mayor Miller about the Emory Highway development, but now that the documents are out of the bag and we know that a developer for the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs has an option on that property where the health department used to be and the regional commission. So what do you really expect to be built there? You said it could bring hundreds of jobs.
Well, it's my intent to make sure that we have a VA medical center there. I think that's, as you know, we've been moving folks out of there, our First Choice Primary Care, able to find them new locations. River Edge will be moving in the next year to a new location. We've moved the Regional Commission to the Macon Mall, and certainly that property there will be empty, before too long, and we'll have that property there cleared and ready to go. VA Medical Center could be huge for Macon-Bibb County. It allows people to have a closer, more strategic place they can go get treatment at. It also has people that want to live close to where they go to the doctor at. So that would be new people coming to Macon to live, and also valuable services. We expect anywhere from 250, 300 jobs there, close to $300 million investment there, and these are tax-paying projects as well. Just because it's a VA medical center don't mean it's not paying taxes. With a private developer like Stonewater putting for that project, if they get that project, then of course they'll be paying taxes on that project, which means more money coming into our tax rolls. So it's not removing anything from there, it's adding to it.
You must have some x-ray vision, because I was going to ask, how will that development affect East Macon with the revenue in that tax allocation district? So you're saying that all of that will be enriching East Macon. Explain to everyone how that happens.
Yeah, that's a tax allocation district, which means that if you take the value of the property, any upward building on those properties and the value increase of those must stay in that area to provide infrastructure on that property and outside that property. And the TAD is East Macon. So that's why we say East Macon project, because it is East Macon project. It does tie into downtown a little bit, and that's a good thing, right? So you've got the arena, you've got the East Macon project, and you've got the old health department over there. Probably about 75 acres of lands that can be developed, and there's a lot of people who are interested in doing that. Of course, we're going to do part of that through the arena, VA Medical Center, and other sub-parties to do that. And then we've got good interest on the East Bank. Even as today, we have people calling from other places and other parts of the United States saying we're interested in this property. They want to get ahead of the game. We've been kind of waiting a little bit on the national park designation, but we're getting a little bit closer to say, well, let's go ahead and start putting some pieces over there so people can see some work, and that'll start happening after we get through demolishing the old Secretary of State building.
What is the VA looking for? It sounds like they'd also like to have housing nearby.
Well, the housing part is where people go to when they want to live closer to there. So we'll have some development coming, some more housing coming in East Macon, certainly better roads in East Macon. And of course, we've already addressed a lot of the crime issues there, continue to do that. You'll see some more stores. I've reached out to Chick-fil-A, I've reached out to TGIFs, I've reached out to several people because there's some vacant properties over off Emory Highway, Gray Highway, the Sterling area, and we kind of give them some potential spots. We work with a group called Retail Strategies through our Industrial Authority and our Urban Development Authority and our Chamber of Commerce. And we have meetings on a regular basis, and we say, where are the people looking to move? Where are they looking to expand at? How do we get into that market? And that's how we've been able to land places like Costco and potentially and like Dave & Buster's and Trader Joe's and those types of things we throw out all the time. We want them to come to Middle Georgia. If they come to Middle Georgia, we want them to come to Macon, Georgia. So that's how this all ties together in a nice little bow. And certainly they're going to happen. The question is what the timeline is, and everybody wants to know that. And it's something I can't give them a specific time except for a few of those.
Well, we'll circle back to that in a little bit, though. But just up Riverside, too, is the affordable housing in Pleasant Hill. How's that going?
Right on schedule. I think we have all the final plans on that. They'll start breaking ground, more so clearing that lot and start the development there. As soon as they start that, we'll be back with engagement. We have Mr. Battle, who we've hired over there. Jerry's doing a great job. He'll be working with the neighborhood there to see what they want to have in the what we look at a co-op, which has been mentioned several times there, and also the gymnasium there. We've got funding for that. So those projects need to go hand in hand. You need to be building at the same time you're remodeling so we can keep that a safe and secure site and give ample time for people to be engaged.
And we're still not done, so stay tuned. We're going to head north and maybe even west again. So stay with us. Thanks for sticking with us as we look ahead to 2026 with Macon-Bibb County Mayor Lester Miller. Now, we haven't talked yet about what Santa brought you, but I know Costco and Trader Joe's have been on your list for years. I know Costco's already checked off, but what can you tell us about Trader Joe's? You even mentioned Dave & Buster's earlier, so come on.
Yeah, I can't really say a whole lot on that. Some of these folks, they have very specific rules, okay. And if we start violating these rules, then they disappear. But where Costco goes, usually going to see a Trader Joe's. I did my little tour a couple of years ago. I went to Costco's, I went right across the street to Trader Joe's. They go well together. So, I think like peas and carrots, that's what they said, like peas and carrots. Costco and Trader Joe's is just that same way. So, and like I said, Dave & Buster's, it's no secret that we've been talking to them for a little while. It's a place that people can recognize. Similar counties as Macon-Bibb County are attracting the same type of place. So we kind of fit in those same molds. We got one, I think, in the Savannah Pooler area. Columbus has one. Macon-Bibb County will be an excellent site for one as well. I think they'll be coming here. I know they filed some pre-development, so I think people can check on that. But we haven't got to the next stage of that. Beef O'Brady's, I mentioned the other day, is going to be coming to Hartley Bridge Road, and people are excited about that. It doesn't take a lot to get people excited, but that's another sit-down restaurant in the area next to a Huey Magoo's there. So we've got a lot of people showing interest in Macon. That's a great sign. I think it's something, for for many times to come. But also, people also need to know that we're working on the traffic ahead of time as much as we can. We're looking at infrastructure, going to make sure we have traffic lights and turn signals and expand the road where we can. And we're looking for the future expansion of those areas as well. So a lot of times, I told you last year when you asked me, what's the number one problem for Macon-Bibb County? Growing pains. Because we're growing, right? You know what happens when you have no traffic? Nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. Taxes go up, people leave the community, and you start getting, labeled as a community nobody wants to go into.
Well, that Costco parcel is listed as Bass Road, but it doesn't front Bass Road. It's at the corner of Wesleyan and New Forsyth, right on the other side of the Dillards, from what I've looked at. I mean, I could be wrong, but so are there traffic challenges there? I know people hear Bass Road, oh no, not more on Bass Road, but it's really on New Forsyth and Wesleyan.
It's not Bass Road. It's actually just a quarter, past there. It's next to the Dillard side.
Yeah, it's like an extension of the shops at River Crossing.
And you're going to have, like I said, you would enter that through where the Ashleys and everything is there on Riverside Drive. There's a large piece of land there that could be developed better for traffic turning and stabilization there. You've got New Forsyth Road there. You've got Wesleyan there. It's not just Bass Road. Of course, you're going to have to address through traffic signal or through other lanes, or perhaps a roundabout near as you go towards Ace. There's some stream issues there you're going to have to be addressed. And of course, we're doing the widening project. They're already starting this next year with the right-of-ways. Still a couple years out from the state funding and federal funding. We can't control that. But you can't tell these multi-million-dollar companies, hey, give us 2 or 3 years and get back to us, because then they'll go somewhere else and you'll miss out on that. And it's a great investment for Macon-Bibb County.
Well, that was also my list to ask you about Bass Road, so that's where that is. Anything new with Lovejoy Capital and the possible development of Lake Tobosofke?
Yeah, they're still sending us information. We'll be going through the process to come up with a final proposal on them. We still have interest around the mall since we're getting back over to that area there. Several people want to put hotels on the mall. You probably can see some activity on the JCPenney's in the very near future. Whether that building stays or goes is up for the developer, but I think you'll see perhaps a phase 2 of the amphitheater coming in the next 2 years.
Well, we had talked years ago about a possible casino on that site, and that
you said casino, I didn't, but hey, I'm not going to argue with you.
That was one of the very first Ask Mayor Millers in your office, and we were like, casino?
We haven't talked in a while. I do expect if a casino comes to Georgia and Macon get one, that's the site it's going to be at.
Okay. Now, you're also on the Industrial Authority, and there's some prospects that we heard in December. They can't talk about it yet, but do we have the water resources that we need for future development?
Oh, most certainly in Bibb County. We've got plenty of water, more water than we could use. You never know what's going to happen in the future, so we try to, be protective of it. But I mean, if it wasn't for water, most of the surrounding cities wouldn't, be able to operate as well. I mean, a large part of what they get in Monroe County comes from Macon-Bibb County. Certainly, we have a lot for industrial development. I don't see any challenges there.
Heard some complaints lately about dirty water and hydrants being left open to be flushed. Do you have any information about the process there? Well,
not any real information. I will say that there was out in South Bibb County, they had some brown water. I think it caused mostly from a large fire that you had out at Pactive. They had to go out there and extinguish that, use a lot of water. And a lot of times when you do that, you have to go back and flush those systems. So I think that's somewhat related to that. Nothing related to anything else. It's safe drinking water, but that happens from time to time. Even when I had some dirty water out in Lizella where I live at, they come out there, they take off the nozzle, they flush it, and it goes away. So I think it's just something that's kind of normal. But there was a fire out at Pactive, and I think it's the second fire we've had out there. It's a pretty big situation, so that's what happens.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for taking out the time of your busy schedule. And thank you, the viewers, for always participating. Remember, you can send questions for Mayor Miller to mercerccj@gmail.com. And when we sit down at the end of January, we'll ask your question. Happy New Year, everyone.